Hey guys, welcome back. I hope everyone is having a good week. Sorry I didn't upload yesterday. I just wasn't able to. um, and then I chose to go to sleep rather than make a video. I was very tired. Anyways, first off, I want to say thank you to anyone that has been following along so far. I hope that me sharing my journey is helping you in some way. I don't know. I pray about this all the time to God, and I just ask Him, if you're having me do this, please just, I want to make sure that I'm not just doing this to do this. Like, I want to make sure that I'm also like helping people because that's like a big, big passion of mine. I've always, my whole life have wanted to help people in some way. And I feel like God is guiding me to my task or my purpose or what He's wanting to use me for in life and to help others. So I'm just really excited to be going down this road. And even though sometimes I struggle with the Bible and understanding it, and I also like sometimes don't want to make these videos anymore, I definitely think that um, God is having me do something right now, and I'm just hoping that it's helping someone in some way. Even if it's just one video, something I said was like, oh, like that helped me. Great. And if there's any newcomers watching right now, I'm hoping that you found my video because God guided you here for a reason. Because I started these videos when I was having a really hard time. I've dealt with anxiety, depression. I ended up developing bipolar disorder. I was a hot mess. I have a lot of childhood trauma, tons of stuff. I abused alcohol, marijuana, just a hot mess. And nothing I was doing was working. Therapy, doctors, medication, different types of therapy, energy healing, hypnotherapy, different doctors, natural doctors, changing my diet, exercising. Like nothing was substantially making a difference long term, until I found God. And He opened my eyes. I started reading the Bible. I started getting to know Him and praying. And then eventually started going to church. And God has already in just 7, 8 months made so many changes in my life. And I don't mean physical changes, like my situation is still exactly the same from 8 months ago. Um, but it's actually worse because my husband's jobless currently. So we're not doing great on paper on the outside, but God's taking care of us. So it's okay. We're okay. We have a roof over our head, food in the fridge. We have a little bit of savings and we're okay. We have family. But my point is, He has transformed me a lot because my mental health is better. My perspective is better. The way I view things is better. The way I handle situations is better. My anxiety is basically non existent lately. My bipolar disorder is completely stable. Like, I'm so, so stable for the most part. Like, I mean, I'm probably like 99% stable. My depression has been basically non existent. Um, I was doing well with eating better until I got sick recently, and then I kind of fell off a little bit. And then I started exercising. Like, I'm just making so many good changes. Spiritually, I feel amazing. And even though I struggle some days with God and having faith and trust in Him, um, I would say if you're struggling in life with whatever, anything, when I say anything, I mean anything, and you're like, I don't know what to do, talk to God, pray to God. I'm telling you, turn to God. It's, it's hard at first, fully leaning on God and trusting in Him and giving complete control over to Him and just following Him and having faith in Him that He'll take care of you. It's difficult. Um, For some people, maybe not as much, but for me, it has been difficult trusting him because I have been hurt by a lot of people. And so I don't trust anyone. So then to trust in God, it's like scary. Like, but I'm telling you, he's the answer. If you're struggling with anything in life, I'm telling you, turn to God. Start praying. Start reading the Bible. Even if you don't understand it and you're confused and you're like, why the heck am I reading this? Read it. Read it. Do a couple chapters a day. You can join me if you want. I have the full playlist on my channel from day one till current. I'm doing the whole Bible. I've been sharing my whole journey along the way. And day 1 and 2 are the only days without the recording of the chapters, but all the rest have them. And I'm telling you guys, like, you'll see if you've never read the Bible or you've tried to read it before and you struggled and you're just like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with my life, or I'm struggling with something, and you found my video and you're listening right now, I'm telling you guys, read the Bible, start praying, start getting to know God. And I'm telling you, you'll see in my videos along the way that even though sometimes I struggled with the Bible on some days, and I still do, there's change happening. There's change happening. There's things happening, whether you see it or not. It's kind of like when you're eating better or you start exercising. Sometimes you don't really see changes right off the bat, or you might see little changes, but then later on in time, you really start to see changes, especially when you look back and you see where you started and you're like, oh wow, I've made a lot of progress. So to me, getting to know God and all of that, it's a day by day thing. So, don't overwhelm yourself. Don't be like, oh, I got to read the whole Bible and everything's going to be better, like, quickly. Like, no, just take it a little bit a day at a time, like a little bit every day. Read a couple of chapters, pray, just start small and just work your way up from there. Because I'm telling you, like, if you give God a genuine chance and you genuinely seek him out and you call upon him and ask him for help, and you really just push through and keep trying, like, God will help you and guide you. So I don't know, guys, it's a tough road, but it's totally worth it. I've made so much progress than I have my whole life in the past 7-8 months. So I definitely am very, very grateful to have started this journey, and I'm really hoping to help a lot of people, because that's just something I've always wanted to do. So I definitely am, like, anxious and impatient, though. I'm like, okay, God, what are we doing? Let's get to it, because, like, right now it's, I'm just reading the Bible and sharing my journey. It doesn't really feel like I'm doing much, but God's like, you're doing what I want you to do right now. So I'm like, okay, I don't know, but yeah, it's been good though. So okay, so we're on Job right now, and we're listening to Mr. Young Elihu. I don't remember how she says it. Elihu? I don't know. This is why I'm not speaking and reading the Bible. This is why I have the lady in the app doing it, because I would butcher all the words and names and places.
Elihu also proceeded and said, bear with me a little, and I will show you that there are yet words to speak on God's behalf. I will fetch my knowledge from afar. I will ascribe righteousness to my Maker, for truly my words are not false. One who is perfect in knowledge is with you. Behold, God is mighty, but despises no one. He is mighty in strength of understanding. He does not preserve the life of the wicked, but gives justice to the oppressed. He does not withdraw his eyes from the righteous, but they are on the throne with kings. For he has seated them forever, and they are exalted. And if they are bound in fetters, held in the cords of affliction, Then he tells them their work and their transgressions, that they have acted defiantly. He also opens their ear to instruction, and commands that they turn from iniquity. If they obey and serve.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've gathered that iniquity can also be used for the word sin. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's what I've found on Google.
Serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity, and their years in pleasures. But if they do not obey, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge. But the hypocrites in heart store up wrath. They do not cry for help when he binds them. They die in youth, and their life ends among the perverted persons. He delivers the poor in their affliction, and opens their ears in oppression. Indeed, he would have brought you out of dire distress, into a broad place where there is no restraint, and what is set on your table would be full of richness. But you are filled with the judgment due the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold of you. Because there is wrath, beware lest he take you away with one blow, for a large ransom would not help you avoid it. Will your riches or all the mighty forces keep you from distress? Do not desire the night when people are cut off in their place. Take heed. Do not turn to iniquity, for you have chosen this rather than affliction. Behold, God is exalted by his power. Who teaches like him? Who has assigned him his way, or who has said, you have done wrong? Remember to magnify his work, of which men have sung. Everyone has seen it. Man looks on it from afar. Behold, God is great, and we do not know him, nor can the number of his years be discovered. For he draws up drops of water, which distill as rain from the mist, which the clouds drop down and pour abundantly on man. Indeed, can anyone understand the spreading of clouds, the thunder from his canopy? Look, he scatters his light upon it, and covers the depths of the sea. For by these he judges the peoples. He gives food in abundance. He covers his hands with lightning, and commands it to strike. His thunder declares it, the cattle also, concerning the rising storm. At this also my heart trembles, and leaps from its place. Hear attentively the thunder of his voice, and the rumbling that comes from his mouth. He sends it forth under the whole heaven, his lightning to the ends of the earth. After it a voice roars. He thunders with his majestic voice, and he does not restrain them when his voice is heard. God thunders marvelously with his voice. He does great things which we cannot comprehend. For he says to the snow, fall on the earth, likewise to the gentle rain, and the heavy rain of his strength. He seals the hand of every man, that all men may know his work. The beasts go into dens, and remain in their lairs. From the chamber of the south comes the whirlwind, and cold from the scattering winds of the north. By the breath of God, ice is given, and the broad waters are frozen. Also with moisture, he saturates the thick clouds. He scatters his bright clouds, and they swirl about, being turned by his guidance, that they may do whatever he commands them on the face of the whole earth. He causes it to come, whether for correction, or for his land, or for mercy. Listen to this, O Job. Stand still and consider the wondrous works of God. Do you know when God dispatches them and causes the light of his cloud to shine? Do you know how the clouds are balanced, those wondrous works of him who is perfect in knowledge? Why are your garments hot when he quiets the earth by the south wind? With him have you spread out the skies, strong as a cast metal mirror? Teach us what we should say to him, for we can prepare nothing because of the darkness. Should he be told that I wish to speak, If a man were to speak, surely he would be swallowed up. Even now, men cannot look at the light when it is bright in the skies, when the wind has passed and cleared them. He comes from the north as golden splendor. With God is awesome majesty. As for the Almighty, we cannot find him. He is excellent in power, in judgment and abundant justice. He does not oppress. Therefore, men fear him. He shows no partiality to any who are wise of heart. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, "Who is this who darkens counsel by words without knowledge? Now prepare yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? To what were its foundations fastened? Or who laid its cornerstone when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Or who shut in the sea with doors when it burst forth and issued from the womb? When I made the clouds its garment and thick darkness its swaddling band? When I fixed my limit for it and set bars and doors? When I said, this far you may come, but no farther, and here your proud waves must stop? Have you commanded the morning since your days began, and caused the dawn to know its place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, and the wicked be shaken out of it? It takes on form like clay under a seal, and stands out like a garment. From the wicked their light is withheld, and the upraised arm is broken. Have you entered the springs of the sea? Or have you walked in search of the depths? Have the gates of death been revealed to you? Or have you seen the doors of the shadow of death? Have you comprehended the breadth of the earth? Tell me if you know all this. Where is the way to the dwelling of light? And darkness, where is its place? That you may take it to its territory, that you may know the paths to its home. Do you know it because you were born then, or because the number of your days is great? Have you entered the treasury of snow, or have you seen the treasury of hail, which I have reserved for the time of trouble, for the day of battle and war? By what way is light diffused, or the east winds scattered over the earth? Who has divided a channel for the overflowing water, or a path for the thunderbolt, to cause it to rain on a land where there is no one, a wilderness in which there is no man, to satisfy the desolate waste, and cause to spring forth the growth of tender grass? Has the rain a father, or who has begotten the drops of dew? From whose womb comes the ice, and the frost of heaven, who gives it birth? The waters harden like stone, and the surface of the deep is frozen. Can you bind the cluster of the Pleiades, or loose the belt of Orion? Can you bring out Mazzaroth in its season? Or can you guide the great bear with its cubs? Do you know the ordinances of the heavens? Can you set their dominion over the earth? Can you lift up your voice to the clouds, that an abundance of water may cover you? Can you send out lightnings that they may go, and say to you, here we are? Who has put wisdom in the mind, or who has given understanding to the heart? Who can number the clouds by wisdom, or who can pour out the bottles of heaven when the dust hardens in clumps and the clods cling together? Can you hunt the prey for the lion, or satisfy the appetite of the young lions when they crouch in their dens, or lurk in their lairs to lie in wait? Who provides food for the raven when its young ones cry to God and wander about for lack of food? Do you know the time when the wild mountain goats bear young? Or can you mark when the deer gives birth? Can you number the months that they fulfill, or do you know the time when they bear young? They bow down, they bring forth their young, they deliver their offspring. Their young ones are healthy, they grow strong with grain. They depart and do not return to them. Who set the wild donkey free? Who loosed the bonds of the onager? Whose home I have made the wilderness, and the barren land his dwelling. He scorns the tumult of the city. He does not heed the shouts of the driver. The range of the mountains is his pasture, and he searches after every green thing. Will the wild ox be willing to serve you? Will he bed by your manger? Can you bind the wild ox in the furrow with ropes, or will he plow the valleys behind you? Will you trust him because his strength is great, or will you leave your labor to him? Will you trust him to bring home your grain and gather it to your threshing floor?
So, I feel like it's like God is like getting at with Job. It's like, I feel like he's like saying basically like, do you know more than I? Like, that's like the vibe I'm getting right now. Is like, it's like almost like Job was like being a little too arrogant and like acting like he knew everything, and God's over here like, no. Did you create all this? Did you create everything perfectly how I did? I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's kind of like what I was feeling like what was happening. But like I said before, when I finish Job in these little small increments, I'm actually going to go back and reread the whole book, I think, because I don't know, we'll see. You know, it's tough. Reading the Bible for the first time is definitely a large task. And I think that it's not unreasonable to take it a little bit at a time, like I've been doing, and take it slow and really just take it all in for the first time. And then once you've read the whole Bible, then you go and do it again, and then you can get a little more to the nitty gritty, study it a little bit more, look things up, reread certain chapters and books and stuff like that. But I think when you read it for the first time, just kind of take it all in. Take it slow, do a few chapters each day. Take it slow, kind of take it all in, try to get some of the answers for certain questions. But I think it's kind of like when you watch a movie or read a book for the first time. You're gonna watch the whole movie. You're not gonna like keep pausing it and like, oh, and like investigate and stuff like that. You're gonna watch the whole movie. And then if you're like, oh, okay, let me go watch it again and be a little more you know, let me pay attention to this scene a little bit more so I understand it better, or or like look things up, or whatever. Like I feel like with the Bible, like it's really, it's good to just kind of read the whole thing slowly, and then from there you can like start to break things down and really like get to know it, because what I'm gathering is a lot of stuff like references each other, and it's like one big giant collective story. So it's like if you're going to investigate just one book, there might be pieces from other books and other parts of the Bible that are going to tie in to whatever it is that you're looking for. So to me, that's why I haven't been doing any kind of Bible study or intently researching things, because from the person that's been helping me every day in my comments, thank you, big shout out to you, I really, really appreciate you so much, is like there's a lot of things that I'm missing. There's a lot of puzzle pieces that I'm missing to this giant puzzle because I haven't read those things yet. So it's like, how am I going to sit here and investigate a small portion of the puzzle when the whole puzzle is not even completed? You know what I mean? So I think it's important to just read the Bible slowly, take in as much as you can, get small answers, questions, um, small questions answered. And then once you've read the whole Bible, then you can, like, investigate it a little bit more and get more into it and more deeper into it. Um, that's my opinion. You can do it however you want, but as someone who didn't grow up with God or the Bible or going to church or any of that, I feel like, in my opinion, this is the best way to go about it, is to just kind of slowly take it in, pray, get to know God every day, and read the Bible a little bit every day, and just kind of like, just take your time, take it slow. This isn't like some quick marathon, quick fix, like, if you're truly wanting to get to know God and bring him into your life, this is a lifelong thing. So it's okay to just, take it a little bit at a time each day. So that's just how I view it. But again, you can do however you want, whatever feels good for you or whatever God is guiding you to, because I don't know. God's plan is different for everyone. So, okay, guys. Well, thanks for another good day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.